There's 7 artists who together perfectly represent the 7 deadly sins, and I'll be going over them all, starting with the sin of sloth. Sloth is described as a reluctance to work or make an effort, also known as laziness. No artist fits this description better than Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean is a critically acclaimed singer who's been credited for pioneering the alternative R&B genre. In 2012, before the release of his first album, Frank made a tweet that read, 5 albums before 30. He's now 36 years old and has a grand total of 2 studio albums. His first album came in 2012 with the release of Channel Orange, but this was followed by a 4-year hiatus until his next album release, that being Blonde. 4 years is an incredibly long time between albums, especially as a relatively new artist like Frank was at the time, but even 4 years seems short compared to the next hiatus he would take. His next hiatus is actually still going on now, and it's already been over 7 years since his previous album release. His sloth is not only with albums, as he's also only released 12 singles since beginning his career, equating to less than 1 single per year. Frank also rarely ever does live performances, as his last performance at Coachella 2023 broke a nearly 6-year performance hiatus. This Coachella performance was also heavily scrutinized, as Frank showed up an hour and a half late, causing his set to be cut short due to curfew. He followed this by pulling out of his scheduled second performance for the next weekend, citing a leg injury as the reason. Despite Frank's lack of work, he's racked up many accolades and is one of the most popular artists in the world, with his story inspiring many kids. An artist you should keep away from your kids is the one I have representing the sin of lust. Lust is defined as an intense or unrestrained sexual craving. An artist who's ruined lives and his own legacy because of his lust is R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a name people now associate with explicit crimes, but at one point he was known for being the most successful male R&B artist in the world, and was even nicknamed the King of R&B. Instead of using his fame for good, he used it to seek out underage fans to make love with. It all started in 1991 when Kelly was 24 and had sexual relations with a 15-year-old high school student. The victim's name was Tiffany Hawkins, and she alleged that Kelly also encouraged her to recruit her school friends and pressured her into engaging in group lovemaking with other underage girls. In that same year, R. Kelly was introduced to a 12-year-old singer named Aaliyah. He was quoted saying, "I saw her as a star the minute I heard her sing and dance." Kelly had sexual contact with Aaliyah starting when she was allegedly 13 or 14 years old. He acted as her mentor and was the lead songwriter and producer to her debut album titled Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And R. Kelly is also on the album's cover, looking over at the 15-year-old Aaliyah. On August 31st, 1994, a 27-year-old R. Kelly married the 15-year-old Aaliyah after he illegally obtained a fake identification card for her in order to obtain a marriage license. Their marriage reportedly came after Kelly found out that Aaliyah was pregnant. On February 3rd, 2002, a video began circulating showing R. Kelly making love to and urinating on a 15-year-old girl. This prompted a search of Kelly's residence in Davenport, Florida, and the search resulted in the recovery of 12 images of R. Kelly involved in sexual conduct with the same girl from the leaked video. In 2009, R. Kelly allegedly molested a preteen girl. Kelly was also accused of holding girls in an abusive sex cult and intentionally infecting a former partner with an STI. There are even more allegations on top of these, with some being too graphic for me to cover. All of R. Kelly's disgusting, lustful actions finally caught up with him in 2022 when he was sentenced to serve 30 years in prison, but he should have been behind bars long ago. Another artist who spent time behind bars is the one I chose to represent the sin of wrath. Wrath is characterized by uncontrolled feelings of anger, rage, and even hatred. An artist who had a long history of displaying these traits is XXXTENTACION. X was a versatile rapper and singer whose life was tragically taken in 2018. His most successful tracks involved him singing, but he originally gained attention from his unique, aggressive style of rap. A lot of X's early music was similarly aggressive in tone and lyrics, but it wasn't only his music that showed off his wrath, as he also had a long history of physical violence. X was once quoted saying, "I've been fighting since I was a kid." He admitted to fighting when he was younger just to get the attention of his mom because he knew she would have to give him attention after a fight. When he was 6, he tried to stab a man who was messing with his mother. He once beat another kid with drumsticks and also fought a band member in his church choir who kept bugging him, resulting in his expulsion from the church. X was even expelled from his first middle school for fighting. There are many other fights X has been in on and off camera, including one where he used an after photo of the man he beat bloody as the cover to his song Young Brats. X stated that he fought for people who couldn't fight for themselves, and that he also fought for fun and for the thrill. X has also been charged for some of the aggressive acts he's been involved in, including home invasion, gun possession, the stabbing of his former manager, robbery, and assault with a deadly weapon. The most infamous case X was involved in was for the alleged domestic violence of his ex-girlfriend Geneva Ayala. According to Geneva, the first time X hit her, she'd been admiring a friend's new grills in a Snapchat video, and that caused X to smash her phone to the ground and strike her across the face. She said he struck her again that same day and also threatened to brutalize her with a long-handled barbecue fork or wire barbecue brush, making her pick which one. She told the New Times that X's favorite thing was to backhand her across the mouth because the welts appeared on the inside of her lips. According to one witness, X once beat Geneva because she had laughed at one of his producer's jokes. Geneva's breaking point came months later on October 6, 2016, when she alleged X savagely beat her while she was pregnant so badly that she lost some of her vision. X always denied all of the allegations of domestic against him. He spoke on the allegations during a jail call and said that Geneva was never pregnant and that she suffered injuries after getting jumped. Roommates of both X and Geneva described X's remorse and say that he badly wanted to control his anger. This included an occasion where X was described as falling to his knees and weeping, begging to himself for his behavior to change. He was even recorded saying that he disgusts himself for not being able to control his anger.
Look how fast I f***ed that up because I couldn't control my anger. You feel me? I disgust myself every day. I'll have no pride looking in the mirror.
Despite all the controversy surrounding him, X still went on to become an extremely successful and impactful big artist. Another big artist is the one I selected to represent the sin of gluttony. Gluttony is characterized by a limitless appetite and overconsumption of anything to the point of waste. An artist who is constantly scrutinized for his gluttonous tendencies is Rod Wave. Rod is a singer known for his strong voice and incorporation of R&B and hip-hop, being recognized as a pioneer of the soul trap genre. Since the beginning of his music career in 2015, Rod has always been a plus-sized individual, but he only seemed to gain more and more weight as his career went on. His weight gain became a distinctive part of his image, and he's been vocal about embracing body positivity and self-acceptance, encouraging his fans to appreciate themselves regardless of their appearance. He's been open about his struggles with weight, saying that he finds comfort in eating and uses food as a coping mechanism for stress. Rod is 5'6" and is estimated to weigh somewhere in the range of 220 to 300 pounds. Assuming the median weight of 260 pounds, that would give Rod Wave a body mass index of 42, which would consider him morbidly obese. There are numerous videos of Rod showing the negative effects of his weight, such as him struggling to sit in a chair, him needing to occupy 2 chairs at an NBA game, and even a stage collapsing under his feet at a concert. Occurrences like these are what spawn a lot of the fat jokes he constantly receives. People also meme him for his weight, like when he picked up chips someone threw to him on stage, when he spits lyrics about food,
Hold on, T, just stop the beat, let's get something to eat.
and some even made parodies of his songs that were all about food, getting millions of views.
I want some fries and chicken, a side of biscuit, that ain't enough for me.
In September 2023, Rod addressed those making fun of him, vowing to get a six-pack as revenge.
Call me out my name, or you made fun of me, I'm finna get my motherfucking six-pack, nigga, and I'm finna tighten up, and I'm getting everybody back, man. Revenge, man.
Rod Wave's weight has not hindered his success as an artist, as it's become an integral part of his brand, resonating with fans who appreciate his authenticity and vulnerability in his music. His lyrics often touch on personal struggles, and his physical appearance serves as a visual representation of his journey. Another artist who gets made fun of for their weight, among other things, is the one I picked to represent the sin of pride. The definition of pride is believing that one is essentially better than others, failing to acknowledge the accomplishments of others, and excessive admiration of the personal self. An artist who's constantly been seen expressing these attributes is DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled is a record producer, record executive, and DJ known primarily for his frequent collaborations with high-profile vocalists. In the public eye, he's infamous for speaking in a boastful manner, coming across arrogant and cocky as though he thinks he's better than everyone else.
My brand, We The Best, speaks for itself. It's the best. You know, it's just facts. You know what I'm saying? We the best. My history speaks for itself. I wouldn't be here right now if I wasn't the best. Some people be like, yo, Khaled, I don't see you lose weight, because I don't lose. You know what I'm saying? All I do is win. DJ Khaled owes nobody no money. First of all, I have so much jewelry. I got more jewelry, and it's not even about the jewelry. And it's $3 million.
Who told you to buy it?
God did.
All the way back in 2011, Khaled was being called arrogant for justifying his use of the N-word as a non-black person.
DJ Khaled saying the N-word.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a nigga.
You see what I'm saying? Like if somebody ever took that in what's that word? Arrogant?
Arrogance?
Yeah, like if somebody thinks it in another way, they dumb. It's actually a positive word, the way I use it.
In 2014, he caught flack for his comments saying that he would never go down on a woman and that they should praise their man.
I believe a woman should praise the man, you know, the king. You know, if you holding it down for your woman, I feel like the woman should praise.
So you're saying
like,
you don't go down?
Nah, never.
All of that to say you don't go down? Come
I
on.
don't eat the box.
Come on,
I can't do
Khaled.
that. I can't do that.
You never tried it?
Nah, I don't do that.
So
Dang.
now if she told you she don't do that, is that okay?
It's not okay because you gotta understand I'm the Don, I'm the king. You know what I'm saying?
And she's
Everybody's
the
the king of that house, huh? It's different rules for men. We the king. You know what I'm saying? So we there's some things that y'all might not want to do or want to do. It gotta get done. I just can't do what you want me to do.
In 2015, Khaled participated in the Hot Ones Spicy Wings Challenge in what many people believe to be the worst Hot Ones guest appearance of all time. He started by bringing his own wings from the restaurant Finger Licking that he owns, more than likely just for self-promotion. He ended up tapping out of the challenge on only the 3rd wing out of 10, which was by far the lowest of any other guest, but he still couldn't admit his defeat.
And I'm gonna tell you something right now for all my fans. I promise you, if I stop, doesn't mean I gave up.
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm not doing it, man. Like I just want to be clear. I ain't give up because
You kind of did.
no, I can't believe you had me do 2 of them. I'm really thinking that you invite me to bring you some chicken. You put some crazy sauce on my chicken.
All right, this interview is getting contentious.
I don't even like hot sauce, period, on any of my food.
You
For me to do 3 of them was amazing.
Okay, congratulations. Very brave effort, Khaled.
He spent the rest of the interview basically just putting himself on a pedestal.
Let me tell you something. I'm very smart. I could never compare myself to anyone. I'm very rare. I'm like one of one. I'm a different type of person. Like I'm today's inspiration of the new mobile.
Tell me about a time in DJ Khaled's life where he called it out.
Hell? Never in my life.
What do you say to the people who think DJ Khaled is somebody who screams "We the best" on tracks?
I tell them to bow down and kneel to their inspiration. I'm who they want to be. You know what I'm saying? Their girl loves me. Everything they don't have, I have. It's called jealousy. One's envy.
In 2019, DJ Khaled's most infamous showing of Pride would occur after his album titled Father of Assad debuted at number 2 behind Tyler the Creator's Igor. After finding out his album didn't go number 1, Khaled reportedly stormed into his label offices and threw a temper tantrum. A source was quoted saying he was furious. There was some nasty stuff said. Publicly, he's all about positivity, but there's a mean side to him that people don't see. He overhyped the record and blew it up as his biggest album ever. Khaled didn't stop there though, as he also posted a video sneak dissing Tyler the Creator's album that topped his, calling it mysterious shit and saying that you never hear it being played.
I make albums so people can play it and you actually hear it. You know, driving your car, you hear another car playing it. You know, go to the barbershop, you hear them playing it. You know, turn the radio on and you hear them playing it. You know, it's playing everywhere. It's called great music. It's called albums that you actually hear the songs. Not no mysterious shit and you never hear it. On your dome.
Without dissing Khaled, Tyler would go on to say that it was crazy his album went number 1 against all the big name features Khaled had on his project.
And this is no disrespect to Khaled or anyone, but this nigga had every person in the industry, everyone on that fucking album, everyone who sells billions of records, and the fact that I beat him with this was fucking crazy, bro.
It wasn't until 2 years later where Tyler would actually fire back at Khaled, noting how he deflated Khaled's massive ego after charting over him.
But I didn't say nothing. I just let that number 1 speak. The nigga ego had to deal with that. That sat with him. Because his whole identity is we the best, we the number 1. And when the underdog to him took that away from him, the nigga ego was deflated. He'll probably never admit it.
In 2021, DJ Khaled received a Guild A20 Bob Marley Dreadnought acoustic guitar from the family of the late reggae icon. And instead of admitting he didn't know how to play it, he gave a Squidward on clarinet type performance.
This guitar inspired songs that help unite the world, and we hope it gives you inspiration as well.
In 2022, he gave a similar performance when making a beat.
That sounds like one of those stock beats on the Yamaha drum machines from Toys R Us back in the day. Isn't his whole career made around making beats though? What does he do? What?
Some were confused as to why the beat sounded so bad when Khaled was supposed to be a top producer, but what they didn't realize is that Khaled actually has a full team of beat makers that do most of the heavy lifting for his tracks, and he usually just takes their best work to pair with the vocalist and yell his beat tag on.
DJ Khaled! DJ Khaled! DJ Khaled!
In 2022, rap media executive Ben Zeno opened up about how DJ Khaled used him for clout when he co-owned The Source magazine, and now treats him like a stranger. In 2023, Khaled was reportedly convinced that he could make the PGA Tour after only golfing for a few years. DJ Khaled's prideful behavior is a huge part of his image, and I guess you could say it's working out for him, as it helps keep his name circulating, and he's still extremely financially successful. The next person on my list might be the most financially successful artist of the past few years, and the sin they'll be representing is greed. Greed is defined as the excessive desire for material possessions and wealth. An artist whose greed has become so prevalent that some of her own fans refer to her as capitalist queen is Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is one of the most successful singer-songwriters of all time and has amassed an estimated net worth of over $1.1 billion over her nearly 2-decade-long career in music. This includes an estimated $170 million increase in 2023 alone. One of the first big showings of Taylor Swift's greed came in 2014 when she removed all of her music from Spotify because she, quote, wanted to protect the value of her music and encourage fans to purchase her albums instead of streaming them for free. This came after Spotify denied her request to have her music be subscription only, as non-subscription plays paid a lower amount. A similar occurrence came a year later in 2015 when Apple announced they'd be giving 3-month free trials to new Apple Music users without offering artists royalties during the trial periods. Taylor called this decision shocking and disappointing and requested for them to overrule it by threatening to remove her music. Apple actually obliged to her demands after a single day and announced they'd be paying artists royalties during free trial periods. And a week later, Taylor announced that she'd be adding all her songs to Apple Music. In 2020, after failing to reach an agreement to purchase the masters to her first 6 albums, Taylor announced that she would re-record the 6 albums to own the new masters herself. Many saw this as a greedy move, as she was simply recycling old music to make a larger profit than she already had. Each album re-release also came with its own set of merchandise, allowing her to further profit off her fans' nostalgia. For the re-recording of her album 1989, she released multiple high-priced limited edition vinyl covers without warning that were only available to buy for 48 hours, fueling pressure on fans to make additional purchases. The music on each vinyl was the exact same, as the only difference came on the covers. For her 2022 Midnights album, Taylor released 5 different versions, all containing a different group of songs on top of their shared 13 bass songs. None of the versions contained every new song, so people would have to purchase multiple albums in order to hear everything new. She also added 1/4 of a clock face to each version's vinyl, requiring you to purchase 4 different versions of the album to complete, which many of her diehard fans did. In 2023, Taylor was called greedy for multiple factors of her tour called the Eras Tour. The first factor was the price point of the concert tickets, with the average pre-sale and first sale tickets costing $455.78. She also released a concert film for the Eras Tour, which people also argued was overpriced. Each ticket for the Eras Tour film cost $19.89, while the average ticket price for movies nationally was nearly half of that at $10.53. Her film became the highest grossing concert film of all time, earning over $250 million, and the Eras Tour already became the highest grossing tour of all time, becoming the first to surpass $1 billion in revenue after only 60 of a scheduled 151 shows. Although Taylor's made some greedy business decisions in her career, they've all seemed to work out for her financially, giving her a net worth that almost any artist would be jealous of. Speaking of being jealous, the next artist on my list might be known more for her jealousy than for her own music, and that's why she's representing the sin of envy. Envy is defined as jealousy over the blessings and achievements of others. An artist that's notorious for starting numerous public feuds stemming from jealousy is Azalea Banks. Azalea Banks is a rapper and singer who developed a reputation of controversy starting in the early 2010s. She's been called out for making racist, transphobic, homophobic, and xenophobic remarks, but her most widely known controversies came from her feuds with other artists. Her first big feud came in January 2012 when she verbally attacked and insulted the rapper Krayshawn for retweeting a post made by that had one of her music videos with a playful reference to one of her lyrics. The following month, her next feud would begin, this time with rapper Iggy Azalea. The hip-hop magazine XXL had just unveiled their 5th annual freshman cover that featured Iggy Azalea as their first and only female rapper. Azalea Banks didn't agree with Iggy making the list over herself and went on a rant about why it was wrong, mostly having to do with Iggy's race. This feud with Iggy would go on to span for years, with Banks even accusing Iggy of stealing her name and trying to take what was for her. Banks' beef with Iggy led to another beef in April 2012 with rapper T.I., who was Iggy's mentor at the time. She took shots at not only him, but his wife as well, who was just an innocent bystander. In March 2013, Azealia Banks popped off on singer Rita Ora, accusing her of taking pictures of her dancers in the dressing room and trying to intimidate her, also calling her Rihanna's understudy. In the same month, she also had a falling out with the rapper Shiesty over a music video of their song together. They shot the music video 5 months prior to its release with no issues, but one day after it released, Azealia and her manager sent disrespectful messages and litigation threats that led to the video being taken down per Universal's request. Shiesty said it was upsetting to her as she viewed Azealia like family and thought she genuinely wanted to build a working relationship. In July 2013, Banks got into it with singer Lily Allen after a fan sent her an old tweet she made, playfully boasting, that read, "You're all just jealous because I'm so beautiful and have such a pretty face." Banks responded by calling her weak, calling her husband ugly, calling her kids ugly, and saying she has a coke habit. In May 2016, actress Sky Jackson made a tweet saying Azealia Banks needs to simmer down a little, prompting Banks to reply heatedly. She told the then 14-year-old actress that she needed to grow some hips and start her menses and to stay in a child's place. She also insulted her mother and called Sky Flatty Patty, a Disney reject, and a meme. She then recreated the famous Sky Jackson sitting in a chair meme in the exact same chair. In January 2017, Azealia got into an argument with Rihanna over her disapproval of Donald Trump's presidency, as Azealia was a supporter of Trump. She then claimed that Rihanna had starved her in the studio once while she was writing songs for her. She followed this by leaking Rihanna's phone number. Rihanna retaliated by leaking texts Azealia sent to her that said Beyonce's working heavy on her and called her a drug and addict, but she also leaked Azalea's number in the process. In August 2018, Banks was invited to Elon Musk's Los Angeles mansion by the singer Grimes to record a song. She said she was trapped in a real-life episode of the film Get Out after being left alone in the mansion for days. Messages were then leaked of Azealia and Grimes insulting each other. Grimes later made a song titled 100% Tragedy that she said was inspired by, quote, having to defeat Azealia Banks when she tried to destroy my life. Azealia responded saying, Grimes' death has some psychosexual obsession with me. I think it's bitterness because she doesn't have the musical capacity I have. Everything she does is out of pretentiousness and it comes out like that, while everything I do is out of natural swag and geniusness, LMAO. In October 2018, Azealia started an infamous war of words with her former friend and singer Lana Del Rey, spurring from her disapproval of Kanye's support of Trump. Azealia said that she was just using a weakened target to pretend to be an ally and insulted Lana's physical appearance. In February 2022, after Kanye West and Julia Fox split up, Azealia shared her thoughts on her former friend Julia. She called the relationship a weak PR stunt and told Julia she could kiss her days as a low-rate escort goodbye. In June 2023, Azealia expressed distaste for Doja Cat's music, saying it's so try-hard and dumb corny, among other insults. She also had words for Kendrick Lamar, calling him mad overrated and extremely complacent, also accusing him of having white ghostwriters. In December 2023, Banks called Kanye West a fat, smelly loser after he was upset with Nicki Minaj for not clearing a verse for his song. She had previous history with Kanye, alleging that he tried to sign her 4 times and has a crush on her, and she said that she repeatedly rejected him. Banks stated, has Kanye ever successfully launched any artist he hasn't sabotaged out of jealousy? This was ironic, seeing how many people think that she sabotaged her own career out of jealousy. Azealia Banks has also clashed with many other celebrities, such as Angel Hayes, Perez Hilton, the Stone Roses, Sarah Palin, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Charlie XCX, and Playboi Carti. This quote by Azealia Banks sums up where the source of a lot of her jealousy comes from. She stated, I guess the source of my disappointment comes from just watching lots of other men in hip hop, just like male rappers have their career setbacks and go through things. Or even when a black male rapper misspeaks something, just seeing black men go through the motions, seeing the black mass just kind of seemingly accepting it as just an attribute of their artistry. So they'll be like, Kanye West is just saying all that because he's crazy. Or, okay, yeah, R. Kelly a girl, but damn, he makes some good music. I don't feel like I ever got that kind of empathy. I never got those kinds of privileges. I never got those kinds of allowances. It made me really bitter for a very long time. Very, very, very bitter. So bitter to the point that I would just kind of say things that I didn't mean, like, I hate black men and like that. I would just say things like that because I would just feel so misunderstood. What do you guys think?